Yeah, well, it's Tuesday morning between Christmas and New Year. Just thought I'd take the wide wheel out for a little bit of a wander and maybe a bit of a range test. Just charged it up last night. Still charging up to 54.5 volts. Still behaving pretty much like it did new. I guess that the just evidence for all of the don't charge it full wankers is just not shaping up, is it? Oh well. Anyway, so let's see now. Oh, it's a nice quiet day. What is it? I can't quite read the date. 29th. So got a little bit of time before New Year's Eve. Thank God for that, eh? Okay, well, we'll just do a bit of a quiet wander around town on a quiet Tuesday morning and see what we see. Another advantage of actually having a scooter with decent steering geometry is that it doesn't kick and buck and wobble and carry on, you know. Anyway, I think I've said all that before. But what would I know? Obviously not as much as all of the little Reddit kiddies. Anyone I know? No. Oh yeah, but he's not looking. One of the nice things about living in Queensland is riding on a scooter like this is exactly legal and normal, and you know, you're allowed to do it. And obviously there are places you can't go, like, you know, highways, fucking motorways, all the good gear, you know. Anyway, park on behind, just move over a little bit. Taking his sweet time in passing me. Kalani Auto Works, the vet. Yeah, I don't know how many Ks I've done on this. It's one of the good things about the wide wheel. On it, it doesn't have an odo on it, so you don't. If you decide to sell it, the owner actually only, or the prospective owner, only gets to look at the condition that it's in rather than any of the fluff, like how many kilometres you've done. They can just check bearings and, you know, steering stuff and go, it is or it isn't. Anyway. One thing that I like about the wide wheel, as opposed to faster scooters, is that I can actually just leave it on cruise control and just do the whole thing. And not worry about how fast I'm going, and be just calm and, you know, relaxed. And know that I'm never going too fast. You just really do get used to the speed that it's at and know exactly how fast you're going into and out of corners, because, you know, you don't have to worry about judging your speeds accurately, because you actually get very used to exactly the speed limited speed, right? It's kind of cool. I call it a safety feature. So, heading out of town a bit. Maybe I'll do a quick bit of a loop. Just wondering, in case you're wondering why I'm jumping over some of these bumps, it does tend to take a little bit of the initial impact of the actual bump off the suspension, and that's better for it. Well, let's go up the hill past the church up over there. In case you're wondering, one of my normal usages is to go from my house, which we just left, to the shops just down over there to do a bit of shopping and then go home again. You know, nip down to the bottle-o to get a bottle of wine for dinner or something like that. Just really does save time, right? You know, that's what scooters are really all about. They're not about, you know, fun ways for kiddies to hurt themselves. They're just about saving time. And you'll notice this is a pretty crap road, and you'll find it's a pretty steep road too. Let's see how she goes on this. I haven't been up here for a while. One of the advantages of a longer board is that you can kind of space your feet out a little bit so that you can allow your front foot to go up, you know, using your legs as actually suspension. Well, it seems to be digesting this hill without too much difficulties. As you can see, looking sideways, it's a pretty steep street. Don't think anyone would be cycling up here easily. Let's just go to the end here. Yeah, I thought there was a water tower on this end of town. Yeah. Ah, what a nice place to live. Well, I'll get about doing a bit more. Sign back in a minute. I thought rather than just steam down the hill, I might see where this goes to. I think it goes to the bottom here and then turns left. But since I haven't been down here for a long time, I thought I'd come. That's a nice little old house. Morning. Yeah. Some nice old places here. Oh, I forgot to start my GPS. Just in case. Yeah, that'd be right. Nothing coming. Yeah, why not? Well, compared to last summer, it's bloody lovely, you know, like it's cool temperatures, you know, a little bit of rain, you can see how green the place is. This time last year, we were in the middle of like bad bushfires and it was just, oh, shut up. It was just really dreadful time. This year we've had some rains, a little tiny bit of light flooding. It's great. Thought I heard a car. Another thing that I really like about the wide wheel is how quiet the tyres are. Like obviously there's a bit clanking around on bumps, but as long as the road's smooth, it's just so lovely and quiet. So I can actually hear the cars coming up behind me. Well, here's the Killarney Co-op. Great part of living in this town is the fundamentally good service provided by this joint. I mean, you know, you've got better home electrical, better electrical, home timber, and food works. I mean, it's a great service, and it means that you don't have to drive 30 k's to the next town to go shopping. I mean, you can if you want, like I have to do that for a motorbike ride, but it's really good inside, you know. Should probably do a bit of a walk around. I'm a little bit shy to do that though, because you know people don't want to be on camera. I should go in there early in the morning when there's no one else in there, you know. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed my little morning scoot. He's got a big V8 Camaro, 5 litres of engine turning air into pollution, 5 litres 1,000 times a minute or something like that. Oh well. Oh wow, they've done a nice job on that. Go out of town for a couple of days and shit changes. Oh, for sale. And again, we cross the Condamine River. That river really confused a lot of the settlers in the beginning. They was thinking it was an inland sea, you know, because we're on the western side of the range here and water seemed to be flowing away from the ocean, so they wondered where it went. Of course, you know, there's no satellite imagery back in those days. And that watercourse actually makes its way via another couple of different rivers that it joins up to, river systems that it joins up to, all the way down to South Australia. Pretty impressive actually, it goes down on that side of the coast. On that side of the mountain range down the coast. Small interesting point is that, you know, the town is more or less divided into like one side of the river and the other side of the river. And this used to be the main side of town as far as I know. But I think the railway was, no, the railway line was on the other side. Anyway, this side had the sawmill, but yeah, the town's pretty much interestingly divided, both, you know, housing style on either side of the Condamine, with just that main main road that I was just on, connecting the two halves of the town. But it's not a bad place to live. You should consider coming up here. Especially if you're in Victoria and you're thinking, well, I'm sick and tired of all of the, all of the COVID restrictions and whatever else that's happening right down there at the moment. Why live in a crowded place, teeming with people, coughing on you and transferring disease? I mean, if I wanted that, I'd go and live in Tokyo again. But I don't. I'd like to have a little bit of quiet. And the internet does allow you to actually work from home, and I only have to go down to Brisbane every now and again for meetings. Although I'm actually not going to be doing that for a little while, as you may find on my blog. I've been up this hill plenty of times. Most of my videos featured this as my first testing hill because, it's pretty close to where I live, and it's like the major obviously long slog up here, and poor old Andrew, when he was doing this one last time, just about had his ass hanging out. He got to the top. And he's a lot fitter than me. And he's, good 12, 15 years younger than me too. And so, especially the 1,000-watt wide wheel has just really been just such a bottler around this town. It's just such a great little tool. It's got the torque to go everywhere I want. Ooh, and the power smoke. Morning, how you going? It's country area, isn't it? Let's have a look up here. Oh, a couple of red-rumped parrots I didn't mean to disturb. Oh well, I'll get over it. Well, they weren't. One of the two. Okay, and here's the other water tower on the other side of town. I mean, it's not much of a tower, it's a tank really, but the hill provides the gravity and away it goes. Not a bad place to live. Bunch of chicken farms over there. Let's see how I go down this on this. Yeah, it's been a bit wet here, and some people have kind of dug in a bit. Well, I might need to do a little bit of get off and walk. Never be afraid to get off and walk on your scooter, I say. I'll swap over here. Notice weight back, transferring the weight to avoid the gullies, transferring the weight to the back wheel, because it allows the front wheel to do its thing. It's a bit rough here, isn't it? I think I might transfer over this side here. Yes, the rains have really come hunting down here, and up this side a bit. Get up over here. Gee, I should do this more often. It's quite a good quads workout. Yeah, what's going on here? That's good. Here we go. Back down to the road, golf course, and then back home to my place. Nice little ride for the morning. What have we got still? We're showing 50 volts. That's pretty good. Yeah, as I've said before, the biggest problem with wide wheels is the owners being dickheads. Very competent machine, lasted me ages. I really like it. Somehow it's still more fun to ride than the one with the pneumatic tyres that does 60 kilometres an hour and has good suspension. Part of it's the fact that I like small, I like low, and I like a bit of a challenge. And I like the fact that it doesn't go too fast, and if I do fall off, I'm not going to friggin' brain myself. Okay, set up for the corner. Okay, well, here we are back home. Well, that was fun. Maybe I should have another cup of coffee.